Hello, and welcome back to Crit and Crit. I'm Scint,
I'm Axion.
and we are continuing our playthrough of EG while we discuss Ender's Game. So, this time we are going to talk about kind of a specific sort of character archetype, and that is the smart one. We've kind of touched on this a little bit with our Harry Potter read-through because of the existence of one Hermione Granger, but as Hermione is not our main character, we didn't really center on it as much as Ender's Game does, because our main character, Ender, as are both of his siblings, is a genius by the author's admission and how the characters treat him.
Oh wow, they're hitting me through that. let's
Yeah, there's a little bit of like shrapnel that kind of hits you and eats at your armor, so yeah.
Yep. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, so the Wiggin family is basically specifically being monitored for the whole battle school situation, and Ender turns out to be the one that works out for them, not because he's smarter than his siblings, but because of other combinations of qualities. All three of the Wiggin kids are extremely intelligent, which is heavily factors into multiple facets of the plot. All of them were considered to be trained as the commander of Earth's forces against the aliens because of their intelligence, but Peter and Valentine washed out because of, well, Valentine was too compassionate to truly be ruthless against the enemy, and Peter was unable to get people to work with him. So, the question that I wanted to focus on with this is, how are geniuses portrayed in media? Because it's often not exceptionally flattering, in my opinion.
So, in my experience, geniuses are portrayed in one of two primary ways. They are either the scrawny, nerdy kid who really can't do anything on their own and is completely reliant on... Oh, this is what I do. Completely reliant on the stronger heroes to defend them. Or they are... I'm about to get absolutely ruined here. Like that. That dude in the back is just having way too much fun.
That's a turret.
Oh.
Yeah, I was firing too quickly, so like, you're gonna have to take it out. And yeah, they can do that. But hey, you get a car!
I'll come back for the car. Anyway, either a scrawny character who can do nothing on their own, relies completely on stronger characters to defend them. In the best case scenario, they are the brains of an operation and will serve as an advisor or informant for the stronger characters and basically tell them, you need to do X, Y, Z, and the other characters will actually listen. I was hoping to get down there before he caught up with me, but I caught the lip and it made me jump.
Oh well. But yeah, the smart guy is usually not going to be allowed to be the main character because, well, we have to have them either tell the actual hero what to do or to basically make the hero look more relatable, because very typically the smart guy is portrayed as insufferable.
Yep.
Which is initially how Hermione was introduced in Harry Potter, as you recall.
Yep. The other way that they are generally portrayed is the villain. The person who is so smart that they become unempathetic. They are too smart to be normal. They are the mad scientist. They are the evil genius.
So it's a little unusual that Ender, and his siblings are portrayed the way they are, where they are at least, Valentine and Ender at least, are intended to be at least somewhat sympathetic. whether or not that fully succeeds kind of varies from reader to reader.
Right.
But yeah, something I also find interesting is that there have been more recent attempts in like modern pop culture that I can think of to make more sympathetic characters, thanks to the rise of the superhero movie, because of just how many well-known superheroes are hyper-intelligent as just the nature of their powers, or so on and so forth. Like you have Batman, who doesn't have superpowers, but he's smart enough to just do puzzle solving with all of his very specifically neuroses villains. You have Iron Man, who also doesn't have superpowers, but he's a brilliant engineer who could fund his own research because he's also loaded AF and was able to basically build his super suit. You've got Mr. Fantastic, you've got Doctor Strange, you have Bruce Banner the Hulk. But that kind of raises another issue that you kind of sort of see rearing its head in Ender's Game, which is, what do you do when you have multiple people who could all easily claim to be the smartest person in the room, when it has been my experience that many mainstream Hollywood writers don't know how to balance more than one smart guy with the traditional sitcom dynamics that people get used to. And in Ender's Game, we can kind of see that, well, he doesn't balance it, because Valentine and Peter are basically just having a conversation between one person, with Valentine occasionally saying, but that would be morally wrong, and just arguing for the sake of arguing. Basically, all the smart people doing the political smart peopling are functionally interchangeable once they take on their Locke and Demosthenes personas. And Ender is deliberately not allowed to be friends with other people, and then you have Bean trying to be the smart guy in Ender's squadron as well, and Ender initially reacts kind of hostilely to him like the commanders did to him. But, well, so yeah, there's not a lot of character variation in how their intelligence plays out. So it's just like, this is the trait that these characters have, and it is the primary way we are going to define them throughout the narrative. So, while it's an interesting change to have the smart character be the nominally sympathetic focus of the story, I don't know if it succeeded very well, just because there's very little else to say about the characters as a story function.
Yeah. At the very least, you can at least say that, for the sake of Locke and Demosthenes, that they had an effect on society, and we'll get into that in a later episode. We will want to discuss the two of them and focus on the two of them directly for a bit.
You could blow up the wall over there if you go back.
Which wall?
The one up by the computer. It was it had the shading on it.
Awesome. I actually can do that now, because I actually have one last missile left.
One bullet left.
Yay! Oh.
Oh, you got a car, though.
I didn't even mean to do that, but I will take it.
And then Angie still got her driver's license taken away by the no one existing still at the DMV.
DMV got smushed by Megas-XLR.
Welp. But yeah, it's just hyperintelligence, or just honestly even basic intelligence, does not always get weighed very well in fiction, which is interesting because readers will also get frustrated if they find that their protagonist is making deliberately stupid choices. So it's an interesting balance in, you have to make sure that your protagonist is smart enough to not alienate the audience from sheer frustration, but also that intelligence is handled in such a way that they don't also become impossible to sympathize with if you want them to be sympathetic. And, well, a lot is said about Ender's situation here. Like, Ender is easy to forget. Ender's a child. I believe, like, he doesn't get any older than, like, 8 or 9 by the end of the book. And by the age of 9, he is effectively responsible for the genocide of an entire alien species, which was done without his knowledge. Following his instructions and tactics, yes, but he was unaware. So blood is on his hands, but he is, in a way, still an innocent. So it's easy to feel sorry for him because he is a child put in an impossible situation. But it's hard to say if he is portrayed as a sympathetic genius because, well, we see a lot said about Ender's compassion, but we also don't see him really making friends on Earth before he leaves, possibly just due to being ostracized because he's a third child in a world where this is now impossible and illegal. But, well, it could be other things as well. Like, maybe it's because they've met his other siblings. Peter is straight up introduced to us by threatening to kill Ender and only backs off when Valentine's basically says, no, I will tell on you, and if you kill me, I've actually got like a dead man switch arranged so everyone's going to find out what a monster you are. Which, you know, normal kid stuff.
I mean, as you do. This guy is really annoyingly placed. And I'm out of my better ammo. Finally! Bad alien. So, you were saying, sorry?
Yeah, I was trying to see something else, like, early on, we also learned that Ender is the one who had figured out how to send messages and make them move around the desks. And when somebody basically uses Ender's desk to send a derogatory message about his being a third child, Ender still smiles smugly because, yeah, they're mocking me, but they're using my method to do it. So, yeah, most of the personality I have gotten from Ender early on is he is a kid, he is a very smug and self-satisfied child, and while the military leadership, like Commander Graf and so on and so forth, deliberately isolate Ender to make him always on his toes so he is the most tactically optimal commander they have, I'm not sure that Ender's personality, from what I've seen early on when he was in school without all this pressure on him, would have been endearing to his peers had the upper brass left him alone. Because I still think Ender has a lot of that shine of I am smarter and therefore better than you that would make him very difficult to like as just a normal person.
Yeah. The comment about yeah, they're making fun of me, but they're using my tech to do it, reminds me of a quote from Nikola Tesla, where somebody was complaining about him, about somebody basically making a competing product to his, and his response was basically, leave them alone, he's using 4 of my patents.
Yeah, but Tesla was also, you know, actively stolen from and has gotten vindicated somewhat in recent years, whereas, not really.
Oh yeah, it's not at all an equivalent situation. But it just amused me that it reminded me of the similar scenario.
Yeah, I don't know, like, just a lot of the way that intelligence is portrayed in Ender's Game just rubs me the wrong way because, well, I don't think things have changed that much these days, but I remember a time when it was much more common that, like, if you were a smart kid, you know, a nerd/geek, you were relentlessly mocked, and it was not a good time for you. And I think that fictional portrayals of characters such as Ender probably did not help that perception at all. So, yeah. Fictional portrayals do sometimes have real-world baggage, even if people choose to ignore that that is a thing. Oh boy. That one's kind of fun. But yeah, I'm not sure what else I can really say on this subject.
I mean, we've kind of run the gamut of... These guys are annoying. Excuse me.
I noticed CG has stopped apologizing. Hey, if you got a rocket, you can get over there too.
Can you? You can't jump and shoot.
No, but I think you can hit the bottom of it here.
Oh,
there you go.
Sweet.
Ah, you can't get up. Oh well, I tried.
Oh, I have no ammo for that.
But yeah, I guess that's a good place to leave it until next time then.
Yep, just in time to get to the exit.
There's a kapooper. Let's pick that up next time. Bye!